Okay, guys, I'm going to give you my top 10 favorite action movies of all time. Starting with number 10, that's Mission Impossible Fallout. As you've seen, back up a second, I'm going to give you the rules. So no Star Wars, no sci-fi, and no superheroes, okay? A few exceptions with the sci-fi. I'm going to be allowing a few franchises like Terminator franchise, cough cough, but for relatively not something where it's like heavily reliant on the world of science fiction. More or less, it relies on straight up action. But then, 10th place, as already previously spoiled, Mission Impossible Fallout. As you see in this list, I mean, a lot of these contain, heavy major action forward franchises and what other than Mission Impossible, and so Fallout is just the next one in its epic grandeur that it comes along with, and one of its best yet. I just love, the story, because when you think about the action is only as good as the story it's based upon, and the story is front forward. It seems like Henry Cavill's as the villain, this seems a great match for Tom Cruise's Ethan Hunt. And what do you know? It delivered everything you kind of expected. Again, great story, great action, which is kind of the whole idea of it. And it, just like most Mission Impossible movies, great surprises, and of course, great masks. Of course, coming ninth place is a Casino Royale. Again, it's at that time it was like the 20th, 19th. Let's see, because 25th Bond film is coming up. More information was released. Maybe I'll do another video about that. Maybe. But yeah, 24th was Spectre, then Skyfall, then Quantum of Solace, and then was Casino Royale. So it was about the 21st Bond film. No, 24th, 23rd, 22nd. 21st Bond film. It was the 21st Bond film. And as far as, I'm not saying it's the greatest Bond film of all time. I'm saying, in the scheme of action, and its franchise it offers all that, I think Daniel Craig's, again, a great Bond film, a great Bond, as you'll see in this list, and he delivers great punches, great cleverness. I think Bond has always been known for his cleverness, but this took clever up, and it actually had personal tie-ins to Bond. Not the first personal tie-in to Bond that makes it on this list. But coming ninth place is going to be Edge of Tomorrow. You could kind of classify this as sci-fi, but again, it's sci-fi that heavily relies on action, which could be a lot of films. But I think none of the big ones are really gonna make it on this list. Maybe I'll make another list for those. Maybe there's some hope. But yeah, Edge of Tomorrow, I think takes everything. I love when action films or genre films, like films that are supposed to be, this one's clearly comedy, this one's clearly drama, this one's clearly an epic, this one's clearly an action film. That's what we're talking about. And takes the tropes and completely changes it. It takes the fun of the tropes, has the fun with it, and changes it. So the whole idea of when you die, you can fight again, that just is so awesome because of that whole concept of it. And, and I think I love the chemistry of Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise being these two action heroes. And just like you would expect, Tom Cruise is a big action star, then he makes it big on this list. This is not his last appearance. I'll tell you that. This is not his last appearance on this list. But yeah, just great because like how it kind of takes place in this, I wouldn't say apocalyptic world, more of like less where like there's aliens, and so I guess you could kind of put it with the sci-fi genre, but it makes my list nonetheless. But coming in 8th place is Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark was a great adventure film, but I think on the action standpoint, this one beats. I think that tank chase is one of like the greatest, just straight up action films or action sequences of all time, and that came out in the late 80s. So that's pretty impressive. And then we got another late 90s film coming up. That's also pretty impressive. But I think it is super impressive. I think I might like Raiders more, but I think on the action base, this one beats it. And again, I think the story is just as strong. And yeah, the adventure is just as strong. But I think on the actional standpoint, I think the character, I love the idea of kind of having literally a Bond feel with literally James Bond, as his father makes it and I think Sean Connery has the same kind of, it basically is like Sean Connery as Bond. And basically it's like if like you saw Bond one last time as Indiana Jones' dad. That's what it felt like. I don't know if you picked up on that. It literally felt like Sean Connery was just playing Bond, just happens to be another great action hero's father. That's literally what I loved about having that whole dynamic of father and son is that Sean Connery definitely, it's like, where does that adventure and that spark of Indiana Jones come from? It comes from his dad, because you could just tell, and I think I love that movie for some of that reasons. But going 7th place is going to be Fast and the Furious 7. Again, this franchise makes like no sense as far as like that could ever happen in real life. And the majority of the stuff that makes this movie so lovable and so juicy is the fact that the majority of the stuff in this film makes no sense. But when you cast aside the fact that this is absolutely can never happen, even if we had advanced special effects, this can never happen. It's just a great ride. It's like a roller coaster that can float. Like, it can never happen, but if you just look past the fact that it can, it would be a great ride. And that's literally what it feels like to me. I just love, the scene in the forest. I love when the car jumps between, when the car jumps between buildings, even though none, like there's so many memorable sequences, like cars fly out of the airplane and land safely. You can run you can like a train or trucks driving off a cliff, but you can still run on it. This stuff makes it so great. Stuff that it can never happen. Doesn't make you believe it can happen, but it does. It pulls off it so well, and yet it has a great send-off to Paul Walker. So it gets an emotional beat just as well. But kind of 6th place, and T2, Terminator, Judgment Day. This movie takes everything that you love about the Terminator and kind of switches expectations, as he's now the hero protecting John Connor. So, and everybody, and I think even the acting, I think Schwarzenegger's better. Linda Hamilton is better in this film, and I do like the kid who played Connor. John. I mean, he did he was pretty badass for like an 11-year-old, 12, 13-year-old kid, and I do like its cleverness. I do like I forgot the was it like T600? Was his name? The molted villain for this. I think it's clever. I love that Terminator, and I love the special effects. How it's like so crazy for its time, ahead of its time by far. And I just love the action, love the characters, love the villain Terminator, and I love the cleverness. So natural good, natural ride for not disaster, greatness. But fifth place is me. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Again, I said that Tom Cruise was not done with this list. He's on this list, and he's still not done with this list. And inherently enough, what buys this for me is the Dubai sequence. And the Dubai sequence. I could watch it on repeat and still love it. Just like the whole suspense, the action, which is what this whole list is about. I buy it, and I just love Tom Cruise doing stunts. I think you could easily argue that this franchise doesn't feel realistic. Well, it's like there is a sense of realisticness into it. In a sense, Tom Cruise did all this stuff. There's no way that Vin Diesel and jumped through a building or something. But it has everything that I kind of loved about its unrealisticness of Fast and Furious, and made it realistic. This is what made my list. And then not to mention, I love Jeremy Renner, makes a great touch, and I can appreciate him even more after Endgame. Even more. Like, I bet if I rewatch this film, I'd love it even more, because I've learned to really love Jeremy Renner after Endgame. And that's no spoiler. That's no spoiler. Was that a spoiler? Sorry if you think that's a spoiler. But you should see it. You should see it. Everybody who didn't see it, you should see it. Endgame. But back on Ghost Protocol. Yeah. Great stuff on that one. And I love the way it starts. I love all the characters in it. So it's some of the old cast with new cast members. So really like it. But coming fourth place is going to be Skyfall. A fair Bond film. Personally, not only personally me, but this film also has a personal connection to Bond. And more specifically M. So it's great to see that help develop more and more of M and Bond's affection for each other. So I enjoy that. I enjoy that a lot. And yeah, the action was great. I think the end action was not as good. I mean, the emotion was there, but not as good as truly. The beginning train sequence was so amazing. The thing in the subway, and I mean, I still love the end sequence. I love the whole town of Skyfall. And it kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what Bond's family life was like, or parenthood or childhood. So I like that. But coming second place would be Rogue Nation, my favorite Mission Impossible film, and my second favorite action film of all time, because why not? Or not why not? Because, yeah, why not? No, but I love the story. I think I love, and I know it might be getting repetitive, but I love its kind of nature of it. And I think the location. Is another thing that really sells it. And I love all its locations in the Mission Impossible franchise, but this one was a standout. It kind of shows a lot of different organizations, and it truly is kind of like a mystery factor, and is like, can you trust this person, or could you not? Can you? Do you think you can go on this mission with this person? Can you do this with this person? And then it calls for great action sequences, as you don't know. I think you eventually do, but at the start, you don't know some characters' motivations, and when you figure out, it's like, aha, it kind of introduces kind of new layers. So really dig that movie, And again, Tom Cruise is at his all-time height with this one, and I love the opera sequence, and so there's another memorable one for you, and everything about this film is memorable, and so I really did dig the film, but first place is gonna be Die Hard. Like, could you expect anything different? Die Hard is just one of its kind. Like, they made a bunch of sequels, but I don't care about the sequels. Die Hard is something that can stand on its own. Great one-liners. Great character in John McClane, an everyday man, an everyday cop that you see ripped off. And once a decade, or 3 times a decade, you see something completely ripped off. Like, nowadays, that's a trope. Like, literally, Die Hard started a trope of an everyday man just trying to do something for his family. That's an everyday trope. In the late 80s, that was not a trope. But it started it. Bruce Willis was amazing in this film. Amazing. And should I start on Alec Workman, as the villain? And because the whole idea of John McClane as an everyday cop, it shows that he has to be creative because he has to fight like 15 different terrorists, not even not like he has superpowers where he could just throw a brick at, or he could jump around and flip everywhere. No. He has to use creativity, and that's where the action comes in. That's where the great action comes into place, is you get creative action sequences, creative one-liners again, and all in all, a great movie with great emotion because you set up all these different characters from the beginning, all these different people at the beginning, all these different messages in the beginning, and they tie in so perfectly to make a fantastic, and my favorite action film of all time. So check out more videos coming right up.